Slam the door in your face. I took advantage of the love. Now I'm in an empty place, yeah. Will you take me back? Say don't go, don't go. I love you so. Say don't go, don't go. Son, I wanna come home. Every time I think about you and where I'm at in my life, I'm in this position all because of my pride. You told me never run away, and what did I do? Run away. I found out no one loves you out here in this cold world, but now I'm back and begging on bending knees and crying. I'm out of tears, so I'll say, tell me back. I remember when you said don't go, don't go. I love you so. Say don't go, don't go. Son, I wanna come home. Say don't go, when you say I love you so. Say don't go, don't go. Son, I wanna come home. You told me never run away, and what did I do? Run away. I know no one loves you out here in this cold world. I'm back and begging on bending knees and crying. I'm out of tears, so I'll say, tell me back. Say don't go, don't go. I love you so. Say don't go, don't go.
All right, so that is music coming down. People always say to me, Pastor Google, they don't tell us the music that you're playing. So that song that I just played there is from Pastor. D-Chick, if you're listening, I had to put that in. You know, D-Chick, I had to put that in, you know. I had to put that in, D-Chick. He's a pastor now, D-Chick. I had to put that in. So that was Pastor D-Chick had, you know. My partner, that was real boy. That was partner. D-Chick, you know, I had to put up, you know. D-Chick go and take her. Whose song was that, Robert? Who he sampled from there? Yeah, is that Leah and the fat man? No, the man who get the fat guy who the rapper who get killed. Biggie Small. So D-Chick, you sample Biggie Small. D-Chick, I find out, you sample Biggie Small and Aliyah. Come on, D-Chick, better than that. You don't feel you can hide. And I played a song from a group from, I think they're affiliated to Roberto, who does be on radio here with Precious. What's the name of the group, Robert? GOCC. GOCC. All right. That's a group from the UK. And who else I play? Somebody else I play it again. So, D-Trick. Don't play it. You play tricks there, my brother. I find you out, you know. Right? You're sampling your boys and them. All right, D-Trick, you're sampling your boys and them, D-Trick. So, come on, D-Trick, better than that. Well, I'm a partner. But I have a video I need to show before I leave this building today. There's a video that I have to show about a young man, boy. This gentleman have a questionable character. Very, very questionable character. Real questionable character. And I want to play a video of something that he would have done over the weekend. All right? Something that he would have done over the weekend. And I am really disheartened because it's the same thing my colleague Aisha Wells have been pointing out on her program from time to time, that the United National Congress have now abandoned all their African-based activists. Pastor Google, you know what you're saying? Yes, I know what I'm saying. I want to show you. So I want you all to join me on Facebook. Facebook is going to come up now. And on YouTube. All right? Join me on Facebook and on YouTube now. And you're going to see what I'm talking about. I want you to listen carefully to what this young man have to say. And you tell me what your thoughts about it. This is really... Now, listen to this. So he is issuing a warning. He is issuing a warning to UNC people, the hierarchies in the UNC. If you want to see the video, you have to come onto YouTube and to Facebook. You have to come onto YouTube and to Facebook to see this video. This video is very interesting. And I want you to listen to what he's saying in the video. All right? Some of you who are doubting and some of you who feel that it was a game. Yeah, they played games with them. Real games they played with them. All right? So I want you to join me on YouTube and on Facebook. Facebook is back up and running, so join me on Facebook and on YouTube. I'll give my Facebook people some time to come on. All right? And in the meanwhile, I think I will take 2 or 3 calls in the meanwhile. I want to share this on the UNC page. Yeah, man. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Caller, you were on, I know. I don't know why you come off. That's all right. So I'll take some calls. 342-0081. I want to apologize for the news. Unfortunately, we didn't have any news today because of unforeseen circumstances. Hello, good afternoon. Hello? Yeah, hello?
Are you hearing me, Pastor Google?
Yeah, I'm hearing you now.
Pastor Google?
Uh-huh.
I want to say it totally clear. I have nothing against the Muslim religion. Let me tell you, Pastor Google, my daughter is a Muslim. My family grew up in Muslim. Yeah? My son, which was murdered, right? Buried in Muslim. Mr. Barker was there. They told me I could go on. So I have nothing really against them. What I'm just saying, Pastor Google, Mr. Barker have to know exactly, you understand me, how you go about things saying, you understand me? How you go about yourself. You understand what I'm telling you about, Pastor Google? So I want to make it totally clear. You understand me, Pastor Google?
Yes, ma'am.
Right, I want to make it totally clear. You know what I'm telling you about? Right? I want to make it totally clear because I tell you, if I'm in your school and I listen to what my teacher, my principal have to say, I will go home and do what they tell me to do, right? So I want to make it totally clear. I have nothing against the gentleman who Muslim. I'm telling you, I say my daughter is that. My children grow up in that, you understand me, right? Because I don't like to tell him what to grow up in. And my family. So I want to make it totally clear. It's just I need him to kind of calm down himself and know what he's speaking when he, especially when he go into the media. Right, Pastor Google? I go on with that.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. So I'm going to show you now the video that I have. I really want to hear. I want you all to join me for this one, you know. You see this one? Yeah, boy. You all have to join me to hear this. Now listen to this young man. Listen to the rant of this young man to the hierarchies of the UNC.
Yeah, people, morning. Again, well, right. Well, morning by all, evening by me here. I come in with some startling kind of revelation and business here now. Because this business here now is dealing with people's life. It's dealing with people's life. and like the powers that be and the people who we thought was a little bit there and a little bit concerned about the things that going on and what happening. Like them people and them, like they forget the people that supported them and the people and them that was there with them in the past. Now this life here, it had nothing to do with Wassa. It had nothing Wassa related or anything. So I've been and walk all it through a little something that would have occurred just recently. So today is Saturday. So Thursday night, my phone ringing the wee hours of the morning. So I jump out my bed and I zoom in. I ain't make out the number, but it's a Trinidad number. So I call back the person. The person said they would have received my number from a former minister. So I asked the person to identify themselves. Who is this? The person identified themselves. The person said, because of the amount of death threats that they would have received to their lives, they would have been evicted. Their landlord evicted them with immediate effect. When all sorts of strange cars started to park in front of their place. So, with that now, I asked the person, I said, but you is a man around the place, you is a foundation cornerstone here now with the UNC, so I can't understand what's going on. The person turned and tell me, the land boy are calling people, but people blocking me. I say, well, you call Kamala, they say, nah, people blocking me from seeing the woman, people blocking me from talking to the woman. So being me, and as far as I could be, I sent Kamala's house phone number and she's cell phone numbers to the person. Now I had it from the days when I was there in Wassa, all of them calling every minute of the day, whole day. Wassa work, I can't sleep. Here they everywhere, I can't sleep still. All day, all night. I say, alright, not a problem. Not a problem. Send the number, say, hey, you what to do. Call that number now. Tell them what's your predicament and what you're going through and what's happening with you down there. They call the woman's cell phone. The woman answers her cell phone and say the wrong number. After the house phone number, they call the house phone number. Wrong number again. You just lucky with wrong numbers. But people of Trinidad and Tobago, hear what I come in to say here now. The individual in question is an individual by the name of Mr. Stark Grimes. Receiving a set of threats because he going live and he upsetting a lot of people political views. However, when the young man got his eviction notice with immediate effect, the young man was standing up in a bus shed in Arima. I sent 4,000 down there with immediate effect to help him out. I sent him by a partner of mine with some apartment complexes. The man being housed for the minute. But these and them in the UNC executive is all you are talking to. Rudal, you're calling the man every minute of the day. Ask the man to post this, ask the man to post that, ask the man to post the next. Kamala whole entourage calling the man to ask the man to do this, to ask the man to do that. But yet still, the man reaching out to all you. And the man asking all you for to help. And nobody answering the phone. And nobody can deal with the man. And nobody helping the man, because I remember they tell all you, a former politician, they tell me, when you're in government, when you're in opposition, it is wipe your ass 3 times. And when you're in government, it is wipe it 4 times. So in other words, you just can't get too close to people like us, because we is the underdogs. You understand? We is the underdogs. They can't get too close to us. But I have something to tell all you today. He is by a partner of mine in the partner's apartment. The partner want first and last rent. Deposit and rent. And then my partner had to call me to tell me that he had to let this man go because he can't get the first and last. I sent her 4,000 just to dry up the thing. Just to, moisten the thing. But the man had to get 10,000 to deal with the business. Let that go on as it going. Where Kamala, you answer your phone. And there's all kind of story, because I tell you, I have some issues with that UNC party here. I keep voicing it all over the place. I keep saying it all over the place. I have some issues that all inside of there. That UNC party are on all here. All you just don't know on all here, but I am announcing it here officially. Are on all here. Because it is we are use people conveniently. When the use for them and the time expired, is hang them out on a line to drip dry. But the brother is in need. The brother is in need. I had to reach out to him and send down a little dust to help him out. Because the life getting threatened, the evict him with immediate notice. When he calls, he started to come fast and furious, they evict him. I had to call a partner of mine, wake him out of bed 2 o'clock in the morning to house the man. The man saved for the hour. Tell the man by Saturday, you go get your money. I end up sending Kamala, sending your house phone number and your cell phone numbers. I sent him it. Let me read out the numbers, because I can say thing all you like. Top things all you like. Right, I can't read it out. But I go post it. I will post it for all you to see. They using the man, or they calling the man blasting the PNM whole day, whole night, or they using the man. But I tell him, I said, that your people. And I did warn you, but nevertheless, we pass all that stage. What we're dealing with here now is the man needs some assistance. Now the PNM, and a lot of people might feel, well, Dylan right, he get up and he go in at the PNM. No, I'm not there with the PNM. I only with the PNM when it concerns WASA. You see when it concerns WASA, I deal with it. And I will carry Marvin and the whole executive to task where it is concerned WASA. But I'm not on the PNM otherwise. My former friend and all these people are not on only. I on cybercrime unit who hunting the employees, and are also on people and the corrupted managers inside of WASA. That is why I hunting. But I'm not on the PNM. Because for my part, the PNM really, they're not on me and I'm not on them. And right, but Kamala, you need to step up to the cake. I don't care if you know, if you didn't know, if you didn't answer that phone, if you didn't answer that phone. I do business with that. But what I'm saying to you here now, the man need 10,000 and he need it now. Right now, he need it. So, I know, as I tell you before, just like the people in WASA, all they really don't want me in all they here. Because I could open an umbrella up all your that will keep all in opposition for some years, well, some centuries as a matter of fact. Because again, I was a convenient youth. Well, please, let me not fall out. You see how they tell Patrick, or they tell Mr. Shalon Patrick, just go and fix my place. I'm not on all you. I'm telling all you here now, I'm not on all you. Pull out this man, all you the treasury, all you having things. What I asking for the man is drinking money for plenty of all you. So let me don't have no issues here today. Because I telling you, I take some vacation, and instead of the vacation go WASA direction, With Marvin, it could deal with all you. Man needs some assistance. Rhoda morning, I was to tell you morning, a few lives are going. That not you doing you. But we don't have no issues here this morning. Because I'm telling all is dog, you know. All you using the man whole night. All you have the man promoting. All you have the man doing a sort of free work. And now the man get put out and stand up in a bus shelter inside a Tunapuna. Arima, I mean. All you have the man stand up in bus shelter and the man can get house. But we don't have no issues because I don't talk to my partner. And I know my phone going and start to ring just now. As I come out of this thing, my phone going and start to ring. Ole, we don't have no issues, please. Ole, leave me with Wassa. Ole, don't want me all you here. Leave me with Wassa. The man in need of some help. Ole, reach out to that man before I come out of this life because I will be in Ole whole day, whole night, 24/7. Ole, don't want that. Please, 10,000 die hungry money to all you. Let me don't have no issues. I set and I waiting. And who going and call my phone now? The you calling my phone too because I can tell you. Now it's not the time. The man life at risk. But all you don't care about that because all you don't use him conveniently to suit all you. But I did make all you out long time, you know. Nevertheless, we don't want too much issues here this morning. This morning is not a morning for issues. This morning is a morning for beers. So let me do no issues, please. Please, I'm begging all you. I'm begging all you. My former friends, right in that party. And they love to call my phone and what's the issues? Well, let's sort out this man and sort him out quick. Because as I tell all you, I not there with the PNM and I deal with Marvin and Marvin board and one member on the executive who feel they could hunt a hunter. But baby, out of your league with me. Because your documents here with me as well, eh? Your documents here with me as well. And I don't think it's my cage you want to run to. Because I like a tiger in a cage, you know, but the only difference is I don't have a cage. So you don't want me in here, right? There will be no problems. Kamala, answer your phone. Answer that phone. The man needs you. That's how you did have him up and down for 2015 elections. The man is in need of you. Not 2020 and 15 too. He is in need of your assistance. Answer your phone. But don't let me call it. And don't let me call back that man. Or don't let me call my partner. And my partner tell me, you have to put out the man because the line your words ain't good. Your promises and your words not good. We're going to have some serious issues. I telling you that, and that's a promise because I don't make threats. It's a promise, right? Let me know no issues. So I waiting and I go, no, where is what? Let me know problems. But again, I'm going and post your number so people are going to see the number the man was calling and he couldn't get through because you're not home and you're in there and you're not there and you're not there. But that's another story. So anyway, people are gone. But what's I still on all you? And to that director that feeling overly ambitious, you're hunting me? Alright. I go show you how to hunt. I go show you. So let me keep this thing nice and mutual and nice and...
Answer your phone. Answer your phone. Answer your phone. I don't want to laugh. Answer your phone. Oh gosh, hey, amigo. This place sweet too bad. This place sweet too bad. Wow. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google.
Good afternoon.
Pastor Google, I surprised you had the censored version of that thing, boy. I get a raw sat a couple of
Yeah, well, I have
you
to
know.
have the censored, so I can play the original on radio.
Yeah. I know now. But let me tell you something, eh? He is one of many. Oh, I am curious to find out who is that person that they had to pay that money to.
What I mean, pay the money too. Remember, he called the man name. He said Stocks.
Let me tell you something, Pastor Google. You remember there was a gentleman who was in the party, a big, powerful man, African nation. He gave us Kamala, the mother of the nation. And then when he was thrown out, he too had other secrets too. He had been in hospital as well. Remember that gentleman? And he founded the Sunshine newspaper. Remember the guy, Pastor Google?
Go ahead, sir. My time is running out.
Yeah. Don't forget too, a couple of weeks ago, there was a gentleman who came to the evening program and he was bellying out problems in the UNC as well. So, I noticed that...
Hello?
Hello, Pastor Google, good morning.
Good afternoon.
Well, it's a good thing I was having something to eat while watching this video. Apparently, Pastor Google, I was the worst, wasteful video ever shown on radio. That was a total waste of time. What the man was really saying, if the UNC not helping the man, go ahead, you want the post about Kamala number. A total waste of time what you doing that video, Pastor Google, man. Come better than that next time.
Hello, good afternoon.
Pastor Google, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Pastor Google, so Dr. Rowley do the same thing? Why you think I just call here any former Prime Minister, Mr. and Mrs. Jones? Because they got a good thing going on, Pastor Google. Dr. Rowley did the same thing. The people who put him where he is today, he left them out. Pastor Google, he fixed a bag of people, we couldn't even help him. He bring back so that people in the PNN, when Mr. Manning get rid of, and all the burden of the PNN, and all they see that, Pastor Google, Dr. Rowley did the same thing. Pastor Google, I will leave it here for now.
Hello, good afternoon.
Pastor Google, after from 1997, Satan set up an office in this country when Pandey gets in power here. If you could remember. And now the time thing will revolt and never get Satan because really and truly, moving all of them setting up this country right now for some kind of thing.
All right, 342-0081 771-1791 466-5391. All right, 342-0081 466-5391. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Maggie, the thing that you do for my aunt in crib, she get the exercise with the water.
Say that one more time. Say it one more time.
Yeah, the thing that the place water that had the leak in crib of my aunt.
Right.
Through you we get it fixed.
Thank you very
thanks.
Thank you very much, sir.
Right. The next one I had to talk about leave it there. If leave it there have all the information on Dr. Rowley, why you take it to the police? You always on Dr. Rowley. Dr. Rowley not looking for a man, your wife and children, boy. Alright, Pastor Google, I go on.
Right. 342-0081 771-1791 466-5391. You can get me on those numbers. So the gentleman is giving them he's saying to them, if you don't help this young man the caller who called and was saying that there's a joke, the video was a joke, and it didn't make sense, and with Kamala number and all that kind of. The young man is saying that, hey, Starks Entertainment, anybody who knows Starks has been very disrespectful and out of time into Dr. Rowley, the Minister of Health, all of those people for the UNC. Because you hear what he said? He said how a certain member of parliament would call him and tell him, boy, do that video, do so and so, do this, do that. And now when he need their help, they can't get the help. Hello, good afternoon.
Negroes for sale, Pastor. Negroes for sale. So they're looking down, so it's one by one. It starts with Kingsley and God's Christopher. Now they're looking to look for the black. They become pariahs in the black community. Now they're looking for black conscious talk and black people to hide behind. When all they was liking all their self and things was running, all they was linking up the same black people, all they want to hide behind now. Well, let me tell you something. I don't believe, for me, them can't convince me at all that I'm genuine. It's one by one, all will come out past the Google.
But you know who is that young man, right?
Right, yeah.
You know who it is?
Yes, I think I know who it is.
All right. And if he was involved, if he's saying that he has Ms. Bissasa's number and he got called from former ministers and what and what. So this situation with the Chief Justice and him.
Right.
Okay. People not putting two, how people putting two and two together.
Yeah, I understand where you're going. Pastor Google, let me tell you something. My people allow themselves to be used and they are and abused. And as I tell you, all who crawling back, I will forget, you know. I mean forgetting because me carry no burden. But at the end of the day, you can't go outside and spell down me and Pastor Google House when we in the fields in the hot sun sweating. And then after when things didn't work out with you and Massa, you come calling back to look for shade on me and Pastor Google. And you ain't even say, well, boy fellas, boy, I'm sorry. Boy, you just tell me kill the fastest car for you. Yeah, what's going on? You see me, Pastor, and it's more to come out, brother. Because this is lessons to be learned. If they could have done that to Jack Warner and Gypsy, who's them pipsqueaks and them?
You know who's her name? You know who's her name you just leave out? People just leave out? Miss Marlene Kudre.
Marlene Kudre, all of it. So, she was a deputy political leader. You can go past Daphne Phillips, I can go right back.
Okay.
It's like the Africans in the US is like pampers, they're disposable. And that's what they are. Because the UNC agenda is clear, it's sectorial, it's selfish, and it's about the community and the pocket.
But
and that's the reality.
I'll tell you this, if people were still being paid, people will be singing a different tune.
Oh, Pastor Google. So, we're talking about people in here. But black people, that's not what black people, you know. You don't know what black people. It's selfish, and we don't see one another's family, so it's easy to break the train. So, even though, I on this side here and I get in, I kick down Pastor Google and me, because I benefit in. It's all about selfish agendas, and them can't fool me now. But them trying to wiggle their way back in and talking to that black conscious talk is because the gravy train has dried up. Thanks, Pastor Google.
Right. Hello, good afternoon.
Pastor Google.
Good afternoon.
Pastor Google, that gentleman, you know that gentleman they used for the Chief Justice?
Well,
right?
I said, that was said just now. I told the caller that just now.
But listen to me. I forget the thing he had in his hand. That was a cigarette?
Yeah.
Well, he said long to smoke it. You hear, Pastor Google? But Pastor Google, I want to tell Mr. Leavitt right here. You see, Keith Christopher Rowley, my member of parliament to represent we, the people of the Gomartin West, or the committee not kill corruption. He clean and he clean. Mr. Leavitt.
Mommy, call me back. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. All right, you're not there. Yeah, this is going to get very interesting. Very, very interesting. All right, very, very interesting. When I come back from the break, I'm going to try to get Minister Fitzgerald Hines, the Minister of National Security, to clear up some issues where the EBC is concerned and the Tobago, additional seats. Hello, good afternoon.
Pastor Google? Are you there, Pastor Google?
Where will I be again, Mr. Levy? There, I answered the phone.
You know, I like to hear your voice. People vex us here, I like to hear your voice. Pastor Google, people vex because the former Prime Minister said how none of our people is going to do any interview with JW on CNC3. Pastor Google, Dr. Rowley did the same thing when PNM won the general elections. He wasn't allowing none of his people to go on CNMG. Pastor Google.
He didn't allow any of his... That's not true.
But Pastor Google, listen, I tracking this thing from the get-go, Pastor Google.
Yeah, but that is not true.
When it talks, only can come with me.
But that what you just said is not true.
I tell you it's true.
But you want to believe it's true. If you want to convince yourself that it's true, then that is you. But I can tell you it's not true.
But convince me that you, Pastor Google. Convince me. I'm going to go back. He's a good goalkeeper, you know.
I have a good goalkeeper. As a good goalkeeper.
I will leave it here.
You leave it right there. All right? I'm a good goalkeeper, he said. Ole Godias.
Lord, put a hand. These wicked people. Oftentimes, life hits so hard. Trust me, I know that. Trust me, I know that. And oftentimes, I can't seem to find any motivation. It's only frustration. But I can't afford to slow the pace. No, it's not time to lose the faith. One thing I know, mommy race a fighter. But many people want me fail. But each time I fall, I rise again. Then I get in that satisfaction, yeah. Them try. Them can't take my joy.
Health Solution. With over 15 years of experience in clinical nutrition and microscopy, we specialize in early detection and prevention. We incorporate evidence-based nutrition and science-driven analysis. Tune in to our educational program every Wednesday at 9:05 to 9:55 a.m. right here on the street 91.9 FM. For appointments, call 222-2189 or 304-5816. At Natural Health Solutions, we offer a natural solution to healthy living.
Hey guys, it's Aisha Wells here. Listen up. If you're considering selling or renting your house in Trinidad and Tobago, then call Keelan George with O'Neill's Real Estate Group. He's a good friend of mine and he's been in the business for over 6 years. First, selling real estate in Atlanta, Georgia, and now right here in Trinidad and Tobago. He has a strategic online marketing presence that actually attracts thousands of home buyers and renters. Plus, with his home selling advice and techniques, he's getting homes sold really fast. Keelan will actually guarantee you sell your home or, get this, you can cancel the listing agreement and pay nothing at any time. That's right, you heard me, nothing at any time. Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful, people. Check out www.o'neillrealestatetT.com. O'Neill is spelled O-N-E-I-L, or just call Keelan direct at 363-4030. That's 363-4030.
Len Capital Certificates is a passive income service company located at Princess Margaret Street in San Fernando and Fifth Street South Woodbrook. At Len Capital, investing is made simple. You invest with us. We make the investments and then you collect returns either monthly or yearly. We have 5 different options you can choose from, and each investment option comes with different benefits starting from TT $5,000. For more information, contact 399-0307. Len Capital Certificates. It's all about you.
At Health and Wealth Lifestyle, we offer a wide range of services: blood analysis, iridology, acupuncture, foot detox, foot massages, gua sha, hot stone therapy, fire therapy, legs and feet massage therapy, mineral scrubs, acrotherapy, cupping.
We also have a wide variety of supplements: silver, zinc and magnesium, body light, and lots more.
We at Health and Wealth Lifestyle operate our business in a clean, safe, and comfortable environment. We frequently sanitize our compound and abide by all the COVID guidelines that are currently in place.
So come on down to Health and Wealth Lifestyle, where we treat you like family. Book your appointment today. Call us at 1-868-275-8359
or 1-868-288-1108.
And remember, your health is your wealth, and prevention is always better than medication.
Turn your lights down low and listen to the Master's Radio.
The Church of the Firstborn Assembly Miracle Center of number 399 Eastern Main Road, Waiko in San Luis Grande is pleased to present Pastors Morris and Agnes Johnson and guests on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. Sundays, Ministry of Worship Children's Hour and the Word from 1 to 6 p.m. Tuesdays, see Jesus in every book of the Bible from Genesis to Revelation from 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. Wednesdays, we deal with current affairs from a biblical perspective from 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. Tell your neighbors, tell your friends, tell everyone. For further information, visit with us at www.churchofthefirstbornassembly.org. Facebook, email us at church668hope@gmail.com or call us at 753-1113 or 236-7271. Your free will gifts and offerings will be greatly appreciated. Account number 795222 at the First Citizens Bank.
This is the voice of the PNM. On Tuesday, September 14th at 7 p.m., tune into all major TV and radio stations, PNM's Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube channel. We'll be coming to you live from Diego Martin, feature address by Dr. Keith Rowley, and a powerful lineup of speakers. On Tuesday, September 14th at 7 p.m., tune in, click, like, and share. Rate is the PNM.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Jesus, Lord, put a hand. These wicked people. Oftentimes, life hits so hard. Trust me, I know that. Trust me, I know that. And oftentimes, you can't seem to find any motivation. It's only frustration. But I can't afford to slow the pace. Now is not time to lose the faith. One thing I know, mommy race a fighter. But many people want me fail. But each time I fall, I rise again. Then I get in that satisfaction, yeah. Them try. Them can't take my joy. Them can't take my joy from me. No way, that's why all the lie. Them can't take my joy. Them can't take my joy from me. No way, that's why I still winning. Still smiling. Counting my blessings every day. I still winning. Still shining. Counting my blessings every day. Oftentimes, you feel like you have too much to bear, but hold on tight. Don't let your heart full up of fear. Cause sometimes, hard times will show you who you have on your side, yeah. Who's up for the ride, yeah. I can't afford to slow the pace. Now is not time to lose the faith. One thing I know, mommy raise a fighter. But many people want me fail. But each time I fall, I rise again. Them ain't getting that satisfaction, yeah. Them try. Them can't take my joy. Them can't take my joy from me. No way, that's why all the lie. Them can't take my joy. Them can't take my joy from me. No way, that's why I still winning. Still smiling. Counting my blessings every day. I still winning. Still shining. Counting my blessings every day.
All right, Trinidad and Tobago, so I'm back with you. I just came on the phone with Mr. Hines, and he said to me to call him back in 10 minutes' time, where we're going to talk about the Tobago elections and the additional seats, and he'll give us what's some water. I'm real thirsty, right? Telenation what? Telenation. Come and sit down and say with the Telenation. Come and talk to the nation.
Telenation, what is it you think, eh? Yeah, Roberto.
That is Mr. Robert Estelle. Yeah, so Mr. Hines said he's going to talk to me in a short bit. In the meanwhile, I'll take your calls because I can't leave the studio without talking about the Tobago issue. How that will look, you know? So you all have to join me on Facebook and on YouTube so that you can hear the information that we're going to be getting from Mr. Hines. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google.
Good afternoon, sir.
Not sir, it's a lady with a big voice, Mr. Pastor Google.
Oh, sorry, ma'am. Sorry, please forgive me.
No problem. I am accustomed to that, so don't worry. Listen, I don't usually speak out about things in this society. I mean, I give solutions and that kind of thing, eh?
Yes.
But zoning on actual politics or whatever, I was trying to avoid that.
Okay.
Because some people don't try to understand and analyze the facts connected with anything. No, I used to teach at the Jamate.
Right.
People say teaching there, I say, well, you have a job somewhere else. Yeah, what? But I will say this, I never had a discipline problem.
Wow.
And this is true. So, and I mean, they are disciplined on their own. Well, they would get in a little mischief on thing, and I would laugh because I myself used to, children mischievous. That is a fact. But I never had a discipline. They have to pray. They know they have to do their work and whatever. You understand? So people must look at the positives in things. And if even they are a little slow, they would pay attention when you're teaching them. And then they would come out learning something, going to business, be in whatever category of work there is. You understand? I am talking about whatever, profession, vocation, wherever. They would do it to the best of their ability. They have that amount of discipline, right? So I would like people to think positive and learn. They say wise people learn from others' mistakes. If it is a mistake, I ain't categorizing. So this is what I call. And then I don't know if I should say this, but again, it's an analysis. In 1990, because of the loss of income. Now, according to economics, you have a normal curve where the bulk is supposed to be the middle class for a stable society. Once you dismantle that middle class, you end up, that curve is like an N. Two little lines on the right and the left to show the rich and the poor. And the bulk is the middle class. That is the curve of the N, right? No. If you dismantle that, you get a straight line graph, which is a rich and a poor society. And by dismantling the wages and benefits and that kind of thing, the society was destabilized, which could lead to unrest. This is fact. You understand? So I used to tell my children, they were small at the time, I say, the pressure cooker lid will fly out, I don't know how, but the pressure cooker lid is going to fly out. So on the day of the coup, we sit down there cool as ever. Because I tell them from a long time, the pressure cooker lid would fly out. Don't mind some people who was frightened and all, something would have happened. And we accept it. If something will happen, you can't prevent it. you live with it. You understand? See what you could do on that kind of thing. So this is what I call to say, and I hope people who call me to bash me, because I gave statements based on facts and analysis. Thank you very much, Pastor Google. I hope the society would be better having that knowledge.
Thank you very much for your call.
You are very welcome.
All right. Hello, good afternoon.
Pastor Google.
Hi.
Good afternoon once more.
Thank you.
I want to tell Leave It There. It's me to love your voice. I say that a second time. And I love yours too, Leave It There. So if that is what you want to hear, I love yours and I love Pastor Google. So stop that now. We'll bring up Dolly for you. Google, hear what? Somebody, I was reading the remarks, and they feel that it's a waste of time that you're playing those things, but you know what? It's knowledge for other people who like to put themselves to be used. They would realize that it does not pay. In the long run, it does not pay. And that is why a lot of them were very vexed with Dr. Rowley when he came into office. And they formed themselves into a group and went to him. And it's not anything I'm making up. Those out of the group, some of them deceased now, came on the air and said that. You understand? They wanted him to pay them and keep them as a lobby group to dig and come out with all kind of thing against the opposition. Dr. Rowley is not of that ilk. So people who they can't come now, nobody, and say he paid them to do this and he set up this. No, he's not of that ilk. So I want our people to realize, stop being used. And something was said there. You make mention of a situation of long ago where that you made mention of it. And I'm glad you made mention of that because I linked that long time when I heard an individual said the only person he gave a picture to was a high-ranking member of UNC. People who read and listen and keep things together will know they could add up 2 and 2. You understand? You get in 22. I go on Pastor Google and I don't think it's a waste of time. Let them show themselves. You understand? Mm-hmm. And our people would see that they know where to keep the tail between their legs. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Every day, I'm still winning, still shining.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good day, Pastor Google. Pastor Google, like I said again, thank you for reminding us who that individual is, because when I saw the face, hello?
Yes, caller.
Yes. For reminding who that individual now, because he looks familiar. I say, this guy looks familiar, but when you remind us about a case that took place or a scandal a few years back, I say, oh, it is nothing surprising. With respect to the 15th season Tobago, do not be surprised of the UNC arm in Tobago that they will be against the boundary changes because they know they will complain. Remember, when the Tobago bill was in Parliament, the UNC arm of Tobago, the PDP as I like to call them, they was against, people will be against the 15th changes now. That's all I have to say, Pastor Go. Just look out for that opposition in Tobago. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much.
You can't take my joy. You can't take my joy from me. No way, that why all the lie, them lie. You can't take my joy. You can't take my joy from me. No way, that's why I'm still winning, still smiling, counting my blessings every day. I'm still winning, still shining, counting my blessings every day. Oftentimes, you feel like you have too much to bear, but hold on tight. Don't let your heart full up of fear, 'cause sometimes hard times will show you who you have on your side, yeah. Who's up for the ride, yeah. I can't afford to slow the pace. Now is not time to lose the faith. One thing I know, mommy raise a fighter. But minding people want me fail, but each time I fall, I rise again. Them ain't getting that satisfaction, yeah.
All right, Trinidad and Tobago. So I have on the phone line the Minister of National Security, Mr. Fitzgerald Hines. I would have spoken to Mr. Hines yesterday for him to come on the program today to give us some clarification on this the new boundaries or the new seats in Tobago and clear up the misinformation that came out from the opposition where they are trying to make it look as though the government would have instructed the EBC on where to put the extra seats. And Mr. Hines would have agreed to come on and to inform the listeners and the viewers on Street 919 on Facebook and on YouTube on the right information. You know, we are here on the Street 919 FM. We like to give you the correct information. So I want to hand you over now to Mr. Hines, who will clear up all the misinformation in the public domain by the United National Congress. Good afternoon, Mr. Hines.
Yeah, very good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to you, Pastor Google. Thank you for an opportunity to speak to your listenership. I too listened yesterday to the Member of Parliament for San Juan Barataria, Saddam Hussein, when he was suggesting that the new arrangements as passed in the Parliament to move from 12 seats to 15 seats, he worked out somehow or the other in advance that would work to the disadvantage of, well, it would work to the advantage of the PNM. So he says, first of all, the United National Congress is not really interested in Tobago. Left up to them, Tobago could float, it could sink, it could disappear. They have not put a candidate in Tobago for the longest while. They have chosen, on the other hand, to use proxies. They're lucky people who support them in Tobago, but they don't have the courage, the political testicular fortitude to go into Tobago as UNC campaign, because they know that they are politically ugly, tainted with stealing and corruption and graft, smart manism and smart mouth, smart womanism. These are things that the general population of the people of Tobago, by virtue of their culture, their history, stand in principle against. So the UNC knows full well it has no chance in that regard in Tobago. So they choose their friends to go and pretend to be decent, ordinary Tobagonians, but to speak for the UNC. I saw in a THA election, they had containers with whiskey and all kinds of things. A big contractor who disappeared from Trinidad on the day after the elections of 2015 was in Tobago giving out this, that, and the other, trying to woo the people of Tobago to vote a certain way. And then those two seats will align itself with the UNC in the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago, and the UNC will get their slimy hands on our treasury again. The people of Tobago suggested in the joint platform that was first led by Orville London, participated in by all the political parties, Ochoy Charles and others, and they came up with a package. It is in that package they decided that they will give to Senior Counsel Gilbert Peterson, and he would convey that from their thoughts and their policies and their desires and aspirations to a legal document, an act of parliament, which they drafted and brought to us. So the question of 15 seats came from Tobago. Dr. Rowley didn't pull it out of the air. And it is only the Parliament that could change the THA Act. So when Tobago said they wanted it, it gave that piece of law an amendment to the THA, an amendment to the Constitution. That was done by Gilbert Peterson, I think a Tobagonian on behalf of all of Tobago. But because it is only the Parliament that could do it, it had to come to us. And as it came to us without changing a dot or a comma or a full stop, we took it to the Parliament. It went to a joint select committee, spent months with the UNC participating in that joint select committee, the independent senators and the PNM. And we came back to the larger Parliament after joint select committee, which was some of the parliamentarians, to the larger Parliament floor. And the matter is in front of the Parliament as we speak. But in the meantime, we had the election, and there was a 6-6 draw, and that wasn't helping anyone. The country was in a state of stultification, stasis, indecision, and you didn't want to go back to an election with an equal number of seats to end up with a gridlock again. So that was an opportune time which Dr. Rowley, leading the PNM, said we will go to the Parliament, amend the THA, put in the 15 seats, so that when we have an election, hopefully quickly after the last one, we will be able to have the gridlock broken one way or the next. The PNM afraid no election past the Google. Since 1956, when we were established as the PNM, and today in 2021, we are still the PNM. We have 40 elections. In fact, every single election in Trinidad and Tobago, UNCs are Johnny come lately. And we had all kinds of parties that were formed and now no longer exist, including Kirk Mayhew, who is a big tongue crier for the UNC today. He had a political party. You don't even know the initials of it now. The PNM has been here from 56. We have 40 elections. We have won, and won convincingly. We have lost 33 to the NAR. We lost convincingly, and we drew as well. Draw 17-17, 18-18. We are afraid election results. When we win, we govern this country. When we lose, we go back to the drawing board, we rearrange our policies, and we come back to the people as we did in 2015. So we went to Parliament, they established the 15 seats, and it is only the Parliament could do that. Having so done, it was then for the EBC, as you pointed out quite correctly for your listeners, an independent state constitutionally enshrined authority. Dr. Rowley don't work in there. Fitzgerald Hines don't work in there. We don't tell them what to do. They decide on boundaries. They decide on how many constituents or electors will be in an electoral district or in a constituency. So when I heard Saddam Hussein, I said, well, what the hell is this? He talking as though it's the PNM do that. That was done by the EBC, and he have senior council leader, and he is lawyer, and all of them, Ram Lokan, Ramdeen, the whole works, although the two of them have their own problems in the courthouse with handcuff as we speak. They have all the lawyers in the world. They could go to the Constitutional Court and challenge the EBC. They're not doing that. But instead, he gets on the radio yesterday, in your face, and start to complain and bleat like a goat, sounding as though those who don't know better, like the PNM, do that. So this is a wonderful opportunity, and I thank you for it. For me to make very elusively clear to every single one of your listeners, in particular the young people of this country, it has nothing to do with the PNM. That is the work of the EBC, which we, the PNM, accept. There were times they made boundary changes, including in the 2020 election. We may not like it, we may feel it don't favor us, but we accept it.
You know, I just wanted to ask you, Mr. Hines, is it possible that the EBC could take the United National Congress to task for making statements like what they made on Sunday?
Yes, it could, but the EBC, dignified, state-supporting organization as it is, having to remain above the painting of politics and the tarring of politics, so to speak, they tend over the years to remain quiet, like the judiciary for the most part, and continue their work quietly without getting involved in the political bacchanal. So most likely they would not do that. And this is why it requires the Fifth Estate, the Fourth Estate, the press, the media, like you did today, to get the facts. The EBC is an independent, constitutionally assigned organization, and it is they who are responsible for designing and changing and rearranging boundaries. What the Parliament did is to pass an amendment to the THA, which says that it will be seated with 15 persons rather than 12, and that was to break the deadlock. And that came as a recommendation from the people of Tobago. And having so said in a law, PHA Act amendment, then the EBC had to go now to shape those boundaries and to organize for an elections in Tobago along those lines. And that is what it has done. So for Saddam Hussein to decide in advance that it does not favor a political party, so he's very concerned about the PDP. And yes he is.
Yes.
And we know why. And we know why.
That's and what you're saying there is very true.
As the song says, this woman no afraid no sick man. We are afraid nobody. We take on the UNC already.
That'll be very good. Thanks.
We take on the DLP. We take on the NAR. We take on the ONR. When George Chambers said, the NAR, then George Chambers said, not a damn seat for them. And when I done beat them, I'm going back to my chambers and call that George. We have no fear of elections. We are an old warrior in this business. Battle scarred, mostly victories. We have had it from all angles. But you see, the UNC is so unimpressive as an opposition. I mean, I ask myself, I know I'm biased because I'm a PNM MP and a minister and a proud member of the PNM. But I look at them because we were in opposition too. When I came to politics, we were in opposition for 6 straight years. I began my political career in opposition from 1995 to 2001. And we know what opposition is. And we were in opposition again from 2010 to 2015 and 3 months when Kamla Prasad Bisasa, they had their hand on the treasury and did all that they did. Right? When I look at the way they perform as an opposition, it's the worst little opposition I've ever seen in this country. I'm embarrassed. And I know in my heart when we were in opposition, we were not so bereft of ideas and scrounging around the place like chickens, looking for foolishness up and down. They are petty. We want to protect the people from COVID. They fight against that. They keep moving the goalposts. We fix one thing according to them, they raise another. Now we are moving the gridlock and getting ready for an election to resolve the affairs of the people of Tobago. You know what? They have a problem with 15 seats, the UNC. They should be the last people to be talking about Tobago. They don't even fight the election in Tobago other than through their friends, who they are in regular contact with and who they finance. So those are the facts.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hines. Thank you very, very much for your for taking my call and for clearing up all the misinformation that was out there about the government instructing the EBC on where to put the extra seats.
No, the government can't do that, would not do that. Would not and could not do that. The EBC is independent of the government of Trinidad and Tobago. And we accept their output, their product, whatever they say, we accept. We go out there, we put our manifesto together, and we fight the election as we would do in Tobago. Okay, my friend?
Thank you very much.
God bless you and your listeners.
So, Trinidad and Tobago, you just heard it from Mr. Fitzgerald Hines, Minister of National Security. So I hope that you all have the answers now.
Jesus, Lord, put a hand. These wicked people. Oftentimes, life is so hard. Trust me, I know that. Trust me, I know that.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google.
Yes, sir.
I just listened to Minister Hines. I heard an interview with Watson Duke, 12 o'clock on the 12 o'clock news. And he is saying that the PNM somehow conspired with the EBC to make to put the 3 seats in the western part of Tobago, giving the PNM advantage. He then started to cry wolf and looking for excuses for his loss. That's what he's doing. So it is quite clear that Watson you came out right after Saddam Hussein made the same claims yesterday. Watson came today to make the same claims in a different way. So understand, people of Tobago who are pulling the strings of Watson Duke and Fari. But Watson Duke is now saying, from what the EBC had already done their ground road work in Tobago, which where the 3 seats going to be. The government have nothing to do with that. From time to time, polling divisions are moved in Trinidad. In San Fernando, where polling divisions was moved into East, and San Fernando is harder to win for the PNM now. There are polling divisions that was taken out in Chaguanas East that made it more difficult for the PNM to win in Chaguanas East, in St. Joseph. There are polling divisions that was taken out in supposing PNM strongholds and gone further into the Bamboo and into UNC strongholds. So all this tomfoolery, they are just setting up themselves for the catastrophic curtail that they're going to get in Tobago with the 15 seats, because Tobago is not a racist issue. So regardless of what the seats are moved, it's Tobago people have to decide where they want the destiny to end up past the Google with the PNM out Watson Duke. So what Mr. Hines just said here, and the UNC, as they said, they have no right to speak about Tobago. Why they don't put up candidates in Tobago against the THC election? Watson Duke is now crying the same wolf that is somehow it strengthens the PNM because it didn't put in the extra seats in the east but it put it in the west. Watson Duke, hey, God don't sleep, boy. If you know you marketable and your 6 is bigger than the PNM 6, and you have all the credibility and Fari and you have all the integrity, you have everything that is given for Tobago. What you want it for? You should fight. You can fight PNM on the earth and the sea, the land, all over. But to pass the goal, we will see when it comes. Thanks, Pastor.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, Pastor Google.
Good afternoon.
Pastor Google, just a short while, probably about under 2 weeks ago, Watson Duke had a live and was calling for the elections with the 15 seats. He won the elections. He wanted them to call the elections, and he was making all kind of other statements along with that. And I was saying the same thing. How it is right after Saddam Hussein talk his rubbish, under the UNC, who didn't care about Tobago, never even sent up any representative in Tobago to put themselves there, made a statement, and then here comes Watson Duke now, and flip-flopping, now talking about that. It put things in people's mind that, it's really a partnership with the UNC and the PDP under Watson Duke. Honestly, it doesn't go wrong thing, because the UNC has no problem when they win election under the same EBC. So when they lose, they take the EBC for 5 years. Only and for roll and they're trying to, pull back this and to prolong this and they keep losing. They keep attacking the EBC. They are telling us that the EBC somehow is in collusion with the PNM. But the world telling us that our EBC and the system of how we run our elections and them is good compared to the rest of the world. It's above par and above good, and these observers who come here for our elections and report, and the people looking in from the outside, the only time they have a problem with the UNC or the EBC, is when the UNC loses and they try to throw dirt on the people, and that's not good for democracy. Thank you very much.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Pastor Google. Monk St. George again, Tobago. This election changes there. Dr. Rowley has nothing to do with it. Nothing whatsoever. This 15-seat decision was made by prominent people of Tobago during Mr. London's time as the House of Assembly whatever he was, Chief Secretary. People like Miss Eastland Mackenzie, I think even Reginald Dumas and all the James, all of them, they had known about that. So Dr. Rowley had nothing whatsoever to do with the 15C thing. Ramesh Maharaj was the, I think maybe he was the Attorney General, whether it was with Mr. Pandey or whoever, when all this decision was made. Now in Tobago, they know that the western side of Tobago is the larger population than the eastern side. If you check it out, like it is Bacalet, Mount St. George, Goodwood, Belgarden, Roxwood, Delaford, Charlottesville, Speyside. It doesn't have any changes that could be made within these constituencies. If any changes, is very, very little they could adjust in it. From Scarborough going down to the western side, there are lots of areas where they could take the people and make new constituencies. It wasn't designed by the PNM or Dr. Rowley to put any new seats or candidates down there. Even from the 6-6 and this thing started up with the Joint Selection Committee, simple people in Tobago knew that there's the area in the western side that they were going to use to put in the 2-3 new seats. Because the east is very, clustered as it is where the election is concerned. The only one seat that might have changed there, and I haven't heard the new ones, I haven't heard it really, is you see like Speyside, Charlottesville went all into Bloody Bay, Castara, around that area there. And that is a big area. So I don't know if they make some changes in that area. But everybody knew that. So what's the Duke and all knew that. So all this is just a conspiracy that they are talking. If PDP is so strong and making so much inroads in Tobago, they shouldn't have any problem. Let them go in to the election with the 15 seats and see how much strength that they have against the PNM. They shouldn't be talking about where the seats are. This is just Little Tobago. It's just Little Tobago. It is not where the seats are. If the PDP is so well entrenched inside of Tobago, they will win wherever. They could win the 15 seats. And then we'll know how good the PDP is and how weak the PNM is. So that's my contribution.
Thank you very much, Mount St. George.
Pastor Guru, evil and wicked.
Okay.
Pastor Guru, evil and wicked.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Pastor Guru. Pastor Guru, that guy knows very well what he is talking about. He knows very well what he is talking about. That it could have Kamala both numbers. Papa. Something else. It has something in that. And leave it there. Give the man a break now. I know he leaves you out. But too bad. Too bad.
All right. Continue to take your calls, 342-0081, 342-0081, 466-5391, 466-5391, and you can send me your WhatsApp messages on 771-1791, 771-1791, and I take your WhatsApp messages. I don't understand this message though, but maybe it's not for me to understand. Leave it there, as they just say. As Mr. Leave it there to say, leave it there. Alright, so you can send me your voice notes on 771-1791. You can call me on 466-5391, and you can call me on 342-0081. Okay? Now, during this whole issue with this Tobago thing, there's a gentleman who they call him Loudmouth, who did a video, and he would have wanted to make his statements on You know, I was like, wow. So I'm continuing to take your calls. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hi.
You know, all the opposition want to do is to discredit the ABC.
Yep.
I'm a born Trinidad and Tobago citizen, Pastor Google, and every time the UNC lose, they find problem with the ABC. They ain't finding no problem when they win, you know, only when they lose.
Mm-hmm.
Because last election and all, they went before the court with 6 seats. The papers are showing you, challenging the 6 seats, but they lose and blaming the EBC because of certain things, blaming the EBC for them losing. The papers are showing you.
Yeah.
What's going on? According to the Monk St. George, if all you so credible in Tobago, go to the election without any questions, without any statements concerning the EBC, and fight all your fight with the PNM in Tobago. And you know, when all you get licks, all you don't blame the EBC, right? Because fair and square curtail will be handed out to the opposition in Tobago against the PNM. Thank you very much, Pastor Google.
All right, thank you very much. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google, Tobago News.
Good afternoon, Mr. Tobago.
Miss Pastor Google, I have the same sentiment of Mr. Monk St. George. Because we were saying to ourselves, when they have to add the 3 additional seats, you're going to take it from the wider district. We have the bigger population of people living. And we all knew it would have been from the west. If you was to even cut on the east, on the from Watson Juke side, I was said that could I even cut in from on Watson Juke and Farley, because Farley have a wider, I think must be about 4 constituency make up 4 districts, make up his voting population. Right? Why are you running scared now? You shouldn't run scared. You shouldn't run scared. You're going around the whole of Tobago talking a pack of crap and nonsense. But my thing is, Pastor Google, of this leak. How did they get this? How did the EBC information leak out? That is what we're supposed to be studying. How did it get leaked out? Right? That it reach out, that the information and what the EBC are thinking of doing. Now, this thing isn't cast in stone yet, Pastor Google, and they have to meet in the parliament to give, to say, well, yes, they're for it, and who would be against, and they could do a little tweeting here and there. Isn't that not so, Pastor Google? Yes, they have to take it to parliament. So it is not cast in stone. But you're going all over the place, doing a pack of hot nonsense. And now the chicken has come home to roost, now you're making noise. Don't make no noise. Let the voice of Tobago, it will be the voice of God. If PNM have to lose, we lose. If we have to win, we win. Just saying, the people and them make the choice, and what they get, they have to take. So Pastor Google, Tobago News, locked on and listening.
All right, thank you very much. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Caller.
Good day, Pastor Google. I want to send a clear message to the UNC clan. Half of them who talking as Mr. Saddam Hussein. I observe him, I saw him, and I listened to him on the television. He don't have a clue what's taking place in Tobago. Half of them ain't even know where those electoral districts are in Tobago. They ain't even know if they're situated east, west, north, south, in the back, in the gully, nowhere. But they're coming to talk about Tobago and who have more numbers and who. If you listen to what he said and listen to what Watson said, like Watson said, him a photocopy of his notes that he was about to talk on the radio. So he sent Saddam a copy. So because it's word for word, you understand? So UNC need to zip the lip, right? And let Saddam take a calculation and rock to the side. Because as far as I can see, that whole UNC clip is a set of political retards. Don't get into THA business. You all don't have a sign or a symbol here. What you all have is a substitute. And the substitute ain't worth nothing. So let them sell that to THA business. I was also saying, Pastor Google, I was expecting them to cut by Fali, because Fali have about 5 to 6 constituencies that mix up, about 6 areas that make up his constituency. So he's supposed to get cut. I don't know what some of them talking. And if you look at that, about 2 of the new seats, I think they were already like that in the earlier times. Blackrock, Plymouth, and Bethesda, like a Togo, and so I don't know what they're talking about. They don't have a clue. Let them try stop embarrassing themselves now. Let them stop embarrassing themselves. Jesus Christ. I wonder if you know where to go and catch a bus in Tobago. You don't even know where to find one bus terminal in Tobago. So I'm still out of Tobago business here, and he is so-called big lawyers and SC. All of the Rams.
Life is so hard, trust me, I know that. Trust me, I know that. And oftentimes, I can't seem to find any motivation. It's only frustration. But I can't afford to slow the pace. No, it's not time to lose the faith. One thing I know, mommy race a fighter. But mind the people want me fail. But each time I fall, I rise again.
That electoral districts move from.
I want to play something for you, all right? Saddam Hussein and they talking about the electoral districts and stuff in Tobago. But listen to this Tobago news, and you tell me what you think when I'm through playing it. Go onto our Facebook page and our YouTube page. You can see it and you can hear it. Go onto Facebook and YouTube. You're going to see it and you're going to hear it. Tell me what are your thoughts about this when I'm about to show now.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley led the motion to treat with the current impasse in the Tobago House of Assembly. He proposed that electoral districts move from 12 to 15. He also proposed an amendment for the Chief Secretary to call for an election after meeting with the President and the Prime Minister if the House cannot be constituted in 14 days, and in this instance, after the EBC adjusts the electoral boundaries. Candice Jackson has more.
According to Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley, the current THA Act only allows for the 12 sworn-in assemblymen to keep meeting ad nauseum until the presiding officer can be elected.
And what is going to happen is that they will meet there from time to time, and Big Six and Little Six will compare against one another to see who is Big Six and who is Little Six, because 6 is 6, and is 6 on one side, 6 on the other side, the assembly is deadlocked.
Dr. Rowley says there is no way to get out of the 6-6 impasse unless the Parliament makes changes to the THA Act.
I have searched this Tobago House of Assembly Act up and down. I have seen no provision here for tossing any coin. I have seen no provision for cutting grass and pulling straw. I have heard it from the radio and the television about having a council of elders, a Robinson Crusoe coin toss, a Greybeards Association, let them run Tobago. All of these, Madam Speaker, are ideas coming from different quarters. None of that is in the law.
Based on a recommendation within the Tobago Self-Governance Bill currently before the Joint Select Committee, Dr. Rowley proposed that electoral districts should now increase to 15. Additionally, he is proposing a way for an election to be called when the House is unable to be constituted within 14 days of an election.
So the law is now going to instruct that the Chief Secretary can call an election. That election is what is going to change the status of the House from dissolved to constitute it after an election is held.
Dr. Rowley said based on his legal advice, the proposed amendment bill is the only solution.
Those 12 elected assemblymen, if while we are doing this, they find a way to use the current law to break the deadlock, then so be it. But in the meantime, as Prime Minister, I cannot sit on my hands and allow Tobago to not have an elected executive because the deadlock in the Tobago Parliament cannot be released because of the nature of the existing law.
In the meantime, Dr. Rowley is unbothered by the PDP delivering a pre-action protocol letter to the clerk of the Assembly, saying the court would take its course, but the Parliament would act in the best interests of Tobago. Candace Jackson, Channel 5 News.
Can't take my joy from me. No way, that's why I still winning, still smiling, counting my blessings every day, every day, every day. I still winning, still shining, counting my blessings every day, every day. Oftentimes, you feel like you have too much to bear, but hold on tight. Don't let your heart full up of fear, 'cause sometimes hard times will show you who you have on your side, yeah. Who's up for the ride, yeah. I can't afford to slow the pace. Now is not time to lose the faith. One thing I know, mommy raise a fighter. Bad minded people want me fail, but each time I fall, I rise again. Them ain't getting that satisfaction, yeah. That's why all they try, them try. Them can't take my joy. Them can't take my joy from me. No way. That's why all they lie, them lie. Them can't take my joy. Them can't take my joy from me. No way. That's why I still winning, still smiling, counting my blessings every day, every day, every day. I still winning, still shining, counting my blessings every day, every day. Jesus, Lord, put a hand. These wicked people. Oftentimes, life is so hard. Trust me, I know that. Trust me, I know that. And oftentimes, you can't seem to find any motivation. It's only frustration. But I can't afford to slow the pace. No, it's not time to lose the faith. One thing I know, mommy raise a fighter. But minded people want me fail, but each time I fall, I rise again. Then I get in that satisfaction, yeah. I all they try, them try. Them can't take my joy. Them can't take my joy from me. No way, that's why all they lie, them lie. Them can't take my joy. Them can't take my joy from me. No way, that's why I still winning, still smiling, counting my blessings every day, every day, every day. I still winning, still shining, counting my blessings every day, every day. Oftentimes, you feel like you have too much to bear, but hold on tight. Don't let your heart full up of fear, 'cause sometimes hard times will show you who you have on your side, yeah. Who's up for the ride, yeah. I can't afford to slow the pace. Now is not time to lose the faith. One thing I know, mommy raise a fighter. Bad minded people want me fail, but every day. Boy, yo, yo, boy, yo, yo, oh, na, 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 na. Boy, yo, yo, boy, yo, yo, oh, na, 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 na. Boy, yo, yo.
All right, so I'm back with you. Just went to pay some bills and come back. Oh, man. Oh, let me take this call. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Am I live?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, Lord, I wanted to talk to you off the radio, off the air.
Okay.
Please, it's important. I can't speak about it on the air.
All right, hold on. Let me see if I can talk to you.
Shine, counting my blessings every day, every day. Boy, yo, yo, oh, na, 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 na. Boy, yo, yo, oh, na, 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 na. Boy, yo, yo, oh, na, 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 na. Hey. Jesus, Lord, put a hand. These wicked people. Oftentimes, life hits so hard. Trust me, I know that. Trust me, I know that. And oftentimes, I can't seem to find any motivation. It's only frustration. But I can't afford to slow the pace. No, it's not time to lose the faith. One thing I know, mommy race a fighter, fighter. But mind the people want me fail. But each time I fall, I rise again. Then I get in that satisfaction, yeah. I try, them try. Them can't take my joy. Them can't take my joy from me. No way, that why all the lie. Them lie. Them can't take my joy. Them can't take my joy from me. No way, that's why I still winning. Still smiling. Counting my blessings every day. Every day, every day. I still winning. Still shining. Counting my blessings every day. Every day. Oftentimes, you feel like you have too much to bear. But hold on tight. Don't let your heart full up of fear. Cause sometimes, hard times will show you who you have on your side, yeah. Who's up on the right, yeah. I can't afford to slow the pace. Now is not time to lose the faith. One thing I know, mommy raise a fighter, fighter. But mind the people want me fail. But each time I fall, I rise again. Them ain't getting that satisfaction, yeah. I why all they try, them try. Them can't take my joy. Them can't take my joy from me. No way, I why all they lie, them lie. Them can't take my joy. Them can't take my joy from me. No way, that's why I still winning. Still smiling. Counting my blessings every day. Every day, every day. I still winning. Still shining. Counting my blessings.
Oh, well, yes. Sometimes really Trinidad and Tobago, this life's too sweet, you know. Sometimes you just have to take it with stride. All right, so it is now, what's the time now? Is the time already? 1:50. What? Hey, look at the time. Trinidad and Tobago. Look at the time already. All right, so I'll be sitting in for 1 hour for Precious today. Because Precious isn't feeling too well. So those of you who are looking out for Precious, she will not be in today. All right, so I'll just be sitting in for 1 hour.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
Enagic change your water, change your life. Enagic water purifier, one machine, 5 types of water. Enagic makes strong Kangen water with an 11.5 pH. Kangen water with 8.5 to 9.5 pH, healthy drinking and cooking water. Clean water with 7.0 pH. Beauty water for skin, hair and plants with a 6.0 pH. Strong acid water with a 2.5 pH. This water is known to disinfect kill viruses and bacteria. Listen to the Street 919 FM with Pastor Alkaline John every Tuesday from 9:05 a.m. to 10 a.m. and every Wednesday from 8:05 p.m. to 9 p.m. as he talks to you weekly about how to improve your quality of life through purifying and drinking water. For more information, call or WhatsApp Pastor John at 516-286-7079.
Simpsons Memorial Limited, number 63 Eastern Main Road, Laventille. Internationally accredited funeral directors and embalmers. A full-service funeral home serving families of Trinidad and Tobago and internationally since 1945. At Simpsons Memorial Limited, we serve with dignity in assisting families in honoring the memory of their loved ones. Our services include professional funeral and pre-planning, burials and cremation, custom-built and imported caskets, coffins and cremation trays, cemetery management, limousines, mourners cars, grief counseling, web streaming of funerals, fully air-conditioned chapel with live musical accompaniment, full global shipping and receiving of loved ones. We specialize in facial restorations. Call us anytime, day or night, at 623-8688. That number again is 623-8688. Simpsons Memorial Limited. Superior service, always with excellence.
Take me to the king. I don't have much to bring.
This is the voice of the PNM. On Tuesday, September 14th at 7 p.m., tune into all major TV and radio stations, PNM's Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube channel. We'll be coming to you live from Diego Martin, feature address by Dr. Keith Rowley, and a powerful lineup of speakers. On Tuesday, September 14th at 7 p.m., tune in, click, like, and share. Rate is the PNM.
Is Grandpa going to be okay, Daddy?
Yes, son. He can afford the best doctors and all the medicine he needs to help him get better.
Well, if he needs more money, I can give him my piggy bank.
Boy, Grandpa prepared for something like this a long time ago, so he is well covered.
And we are covered too, right, Daddy?
Life happens. That's why life insurance is important now. Life Insurance Awareness Month, brought to you by TIFA in conjunction with its member companies. Visit TIFA on Facebook for more info.
Hey, you keeping safe? I hope so. I don't really know what will happen when everything will back up, but the line had to go on. But in the meantime, just come online with the live wire. I'm on the Street 919 FM every Saturday from 5 to 8 p.m. Or you could check us out on the live on Facebook at the Street 919 FM or on YouTube at Street TV. Don't forget to share the live. That might just be as important as you keeping safe. So mask up, sanitize, tune in to the Street 919 FM, Lime on the Live Wire, Saturday afternoons, 5 to 8 p.m. Don't worry, I gonna be home in time for the curfew. Keep safe.
Pastor Hannah A. Parbu of Holy Spirit Ministries will be live on the Street 919 FM every first and third Wednesday from 11:15 a.m. to 11:45 a.m. In the scripture, Matthew 19, verse 26, the Bible says, "But Jesus looked at them and said to them, with men this is impossible, but with God all things are possible." Pastor Hannah is here to motivate you, challenge you, encourage you to walk in your purpose and destiny God has for you. For prayer and counseling, call Pastor Hannah at 728-5197.
He heals me when I'm broken. Strength where I've been weak. Forever he'll reign.
Yo, this is a Big Mike, not the mass man, the health man. Are you one of the 40 million people suffering with joint issues like rheumatoid arthritis or osteoarthritis? Well, you are listening to the right ad. You have the ailment, we have the remedy. Call us now on 288-8301 or 346-2612.
Don't forget to tune in right here on the Street 919 FM every Wednesday from 10:05 a.m.
Performance Beatles Talk.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Let's go and take the man. Yeah. Say over there, Father will provide. Jesus will supply. Good Lord, more than enough. More than enough. My Jesus will supply. And when my cup of them empty, Jesus will provide. Badang, in the presence of my enemy. Remix, watch it. Corona in my country, Jesus will provide. So when me don't have nothing, me no worry. Jesus will always provide for me, cause Jesus will provide. Jesus will provide. And when my cup of them empty, Jesus will provide. Father, Jesus will provide. Jesus will provide. So when you can't control your salary, watch it. He better than Kiss and Quello. He keep on putting bread on my table. And Lindos and Freddy, them not ready. And Jesus Christ got the recipe. He's my chief baker. So my bread basket always run over. So it overflow. And now I know. Jesus will provide. Jesus will provide. But when my cupboard them empty, Jesus will provide. Father, Jesus will provide. Jesus will provide. So when you can't control your salary, watch it. And He's my provider, my Jehovah Jireh, and my supervisor. So my blessing run over. And so it overflow. And now I know, I like this part, I watch it. It's like you're doing it for spite. No matter what, Jesus will provide. Jesus will provide. Yes, He will provide. I will not go with them empty. Jesus, this one is for the elders, Jesus will provide. Yes, He will provide. So when the can't find your medicine in the pharmacy, Jesus will. Jesus will provide.
This just a fire. Oh, this just a fire. Yeah. This just a fire. Oh, this just a fire. This just a fire. Oh, this just a fire. This just a fire. Oh, this just a fire. The whole world can shake up. Government's putting on makeup. I don't know when all of my people gonna wake up. They fall in love with the world. It's time to break up. No time to play. This time's to pray. Open up your Bible and read what it says. We're living in the very last days. We're living in the iron and clay. Perilous times gonna come, but we just in the trial. When the time come, don't get caught in the fire. Where you gonna stand when it down to the wire? Now is not no time to retire, better be prepared. This just a fire drill. Get out the way before the fire kill. I say this fire kill. This just a fire drill. Don't get caught up in the hocus pocus. Christians focus. This just a fire drill. Get out the way before the fire kill. I say this fire kill. This just a fire drill. And don't get caught up in the hocus pocus. Christians focus. This just a fire. Oh, this just a fire. This just a fire. Oh, this just a fire drill. I know it's are the critics and the skeptics. The only thing they believe is the metrics. So they sit in front of the TV watching Netflix, thinking everything just gonna get fixed. But when the fire come, everybody ball, oh God. They never read their Bible, so they never know God. The oil in the lamps get run out. Brother, don't let your oil run out. Cause if your lamp's not trimmed, I don't know where you're heading. My brother, you don't wanna miss the wedding. The bride getting ready and the bridegroom coming. And
All right, so as I told you, I'll be holding on for Precious for 1 hour. Just an hour, eh? I ain't holding on for more than that. I am hungry. Sorry, I had to tell you the truth. I ain't gonna sit down here and lie. I'm hungry. I sit down here since 9 o'clock this morning. It's 2 o'clock. I'm hungry. I should not say that. I should not say that. All right. I apologize. What I wanted to talk about, boy, I wanted to talk about that situation I saw on social media, boy. That thing will upset me, you know. But you know, most of my listeners, and I wanted to stick with the Tobago thing, eh? I wanted to stick with the Tobago issue. I wanted to take some calls from Tobago, hear how Tobago people feel about the additional seats and stuff like that. So I don't think I'm going to change the topic. I'm going to stick with the topic and open up the phone lines. Right? Stick with the topic and open up the phone lines and ask you all to tell me what are your thoughts about the additional seats that have been added on to Tobago. You heard what the Minister of National Security had to say, Mr. Fitzgerald Hines, concerning the whole issue. I played you a clip a while ago with Dr. Rowley. I could play you more, you know, more about Dr. Rowley talking about this whole Tobago issue. But what I'll do, I'll open up the phone lines for Tobagonians to call in and tell me what are their views. Somebody saying, alright, PDP. Somebody who is supporting the PDP on our Facebook page is having a heated debate. That's cool. That's good. Alright, they're saying victory for PDP. I hear you. So I take some calls in the meanwhile while I am, hear your views on what are your thoughts about the additional seats in Tobago. And apart from that, I want to hear from some Tobagonians. It'd be real nice to hear from Tobago. What are your views, Tobago? Tell me. There's this young lady from Tobago that I play here all the time. Kingdom Artist.
Of Jesus towards me, I could remember where God brought me from, how He took me out the mud and He saved my life from drowning. I used to walk around with my face down in the ground. Depression was my drug. Did you know that you had a crown? Well, now I tell you, my triumphs it don't matter. I roll it with confidence because I know the Savior. I'm not alone. Heaven is my home. So not the until you come. I go worship, I go worship you. Father, I will worship you. Hallelujah. I bless you. I bless you. Worship you. Father, I will worship you. See the marks where I fall down. I was on the broad road, only leading me to destruction. Then my father, he said, no, come back home. To me you belong. Well, now I tell you, my trials, it don't matter. I roll it with confidence because I know the Savior. I'm not alone. Heaven is my home. So not the until you go. I go worship, I go worship. Imela, Imela. Jesus, I thank you. Father, all I can do today is worship. When I think about where my life could have been, all I can do is worship you, Jesus. Kingdom hearts inside it. I wanna tell somebody today that God is good.
Oh yeah, winner, 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 winner. I am a winner. Almighty make me know. Oh, I am a winner. Oh yeah, oh, I am a winner. I am a winner from the Caribbean. Oh, oh, I am a winner. Oh yeah, oh. Get a dream, perceive it, conceive it, believe it, you'll achieve it. Nothing can stop you except how you see yourself. You're not less than nobody else. Know that you're great. You too can do it. Better get to it. You might have heard this line before. Let me remind you once more. Know you can do it. Get up and show the greatness inside you, baby. I am a winner. Almighty make me know.
All right, so seeing that I didn't getting any more calls from Tobago, I want to show you all some videos that I got over the weekend. I want to show you all some videos that I got over the weekend. Trinidad and Tobago, when I saw these videos, I was like, imagine Dr. Rowley making these statements in Trinidad and Tobago. Only think, yeah, they say Dr. Rowley is a dictator, right? I want you all to listen to these video clippings that I have. Come on to Facebook and on YouTube, and you're going to see these three video clippings that I have. And I want to show you, hey, with that video going there, boy, hey. Put back that video there, boy. What's going there? What happened there? Alright, so I'm going to put up the videos on them. So you have to join me on Facebook and on YouTube. Look at these videos and tell me if you think that Dr. Rowley could have been making these statements in the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago or anywhere else. Do you think that this is possible? You tell me if you think this is possible. So look at this video. Come on YouTube and come on Facebook. Look at these videos. Tell me what you think. You think Dr. Rowley could be making this statement? So the first one I'm going to play is the one from, where is this one from? Play the one from Grenada first. Alright? So you have to come on onto our Facebook page and our YouTube page to see this video from Grenada and tell me if this could have been, if Minister Terence Dial Singh or anyone from the government could have been making these statements, and tell me how you feel people would have reacted in Trinidad. Alright? We have the TikTok clowns that go onto TikTok and do their TikTok videos, to try to make people mind, to irritate people, I'll put it that way. So go onto Facebook, go onto YouTube, first video to show you. And as I said before, I'm just holding on for Precious. She isn't too well today, just for this hour. And you see how we go tomorrow, please God. So listen to this. Tell me, first video, you think Dr. Rowley could make this statement, or you think the newscast could be like this? Listen to this, Listen, watch, and listen.
Tonight, Grenada is setting up a committee to decide effectively who may live and who may die should the health system be overwhelmed by rising COVID-19 cases there. Health Minister Nicholas Steele Tuesday said what is called an ethics committee is being set up. Steele said the committee should be up and running this week.
You tell me, you think the Minister of Health in Trinidad and Tobago could say that? No way, Jose. But that was Grenada. We're sticking with the Caribbean a little bit. Let's hear the Prime Minister of Antigua Barbuda. What did he have to say? What was his statements in the Parliament over last week? You tell me what you think about these statements from the Prime Minister of Antigua Barbuda. Join me on Facebook and on YouTube. When you see it, I want you to tell me what are your thoughts. All right? What are your thoughts? No, when I heard this, I was saying, but imagine if Dr. Rowley was to say this. What will happen in Trinidad and Tobago? So join me now on Facebook, join me on YouTube. I have some videos. I have one other video to show you. So somebody say, what? Yes. 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 So we go into Bermuda, Antigua Barbuda now. And you tell me what you think. When I saw this one, I was really taken aback when I heard this one. So tell me what you think when I heard this one over the weekend. I was really shocked. Listen to this.
My dear colleagues, this is a very serious issue. I have signaled to the people of Antigua and Barbuda months ago that if we have to make vaccinations mandatory in this country, we'll do it. We're not afraid to do it. We recognize, however, that as leaders that we must be tolerant. And I am satisfied that we have exercised sufficient tolerance in this country, and the time has come for us to act. And I want to say to the members on this side, we cannot put our political value or political interest above that of the national interest. There comes a time when we have to stand alone and to make decisions in national interest. And the time has come. Just yesterday, my cabinet took a decision that all public servants must get vaccinated or get tested at least twice monthly. Otherwise, you will not be eligible to enter into the workplace. And if you don't come to work, you cannot justify getting paid. And if you don't come to work after a period of time and you abandon your job, you lose your employment. We are a Labour Party organization. We're not seeking to threaten people's jobs. But we have a problem. And as the most significant, the largest employer in this country, we have an obligation to provide a safe working environment for workers in this country, certainly those in the public sector. And I hope that others in the private sector will follow. We cannot continue to play with this debilitating and deadly disease. Time has come for us to call a spade a spade. And those who want to go and protest, fine, go and protest, but respect the laws. And the laws are very clear. No more than 10 people are supposed to congregate. And if you break the laws, there are consequences. I know that there'll be lots of hate speeches after this, but I'll take the hatred. All I know is that I was elected to serve in this honorable house. The members on this side have shown enough confidence in me to serve as Prime Minister. I have taken an oath in this honorable house to lead without fear or favor. And I have an obligation to stand in this honorable house and tell the people of Antigua and Barbuda about the risks that they're faced with if we do not act and act now. How many more people must die? Another 100, another 200 before we act? And the irony about it, colleagues, if we don't act, they will still blame us. So let us act, do what we are required to do to protect the citizenry, to protect lives and livelihoods. And I'm saying here to my people, you need to cooperate. We're not trying to be aggressive. We're not trying to be antagonistic towards anyone in this society. But there comes a time when we have to stand up and take a very firm position. And we're here now.
I want to laugh, but it's a serious matter. I will not laugh. So I showed you one from Antigua Barbuda. I have another one to show you. This is the last one that I have to show you. And when I saw this one, I said, nah, this one definitely cannot be Trinidad and Tobago. If you do this in Trinidad and Tobago, well, that is it. So, listen to this one. Come on the live, you can watch it also. Come on Facebook, you can see it also. Not just hear it, but you can see it.
So from the second week of September, people may not be allowed to worship in churches and mosques without showing proof of their vaccination cards at the gates. Similarly, people will not be allowed to event centers or parties or receptions without showing proof of their vaccination cards at the gates of these occasions. We have made adequate arrangements with security to prevent anybody who does not have a vaccination card from accessing any of these events. Also, you will not be allowed to access banking services in Edo State from the middle of September if you have not been vaccinated.
All right. If Dr. Rowley was to make those statements, I wonder what will happen, boy? What will happen? I shudder to think what will happen if Dr. Rowley was to make those statements. Shudder to think. I don't know.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google. Concerning the topic you're discussing right now, you were saying that Saddam Hussein was talking about the biasness of the EBC. I just want to say that if they increase the number of seats to 15, that means the number of persons that make up a constituency would have to reduce. And therefore, the more populated part, there's where the concentration would have to be made regarding whatever changes that has to be made. So that nonsense that I'm talking about, as though, well, you know, the PNM government involved with the EBC, tell them to use it, because what they want to do, go up in an area where you have no people and say, well, there's a constituency there. So anytime you see you have to reduce the numbers. If you reduce the numbers of persons that make up a constituency, because they're increasing the number of constituency on the island, the highly populated areas must be the areas that will be affected by that process. I mean, that is common sense. Why it is people who want to be so-called leaders in this country continue to give the impression that, well, somebody outside here illiterate and they don't know what he's talking about, so therefore he'll tell us anything. Good show as usual. Go ahead. Bye.
Pastor Google, like the sabotaging you in the Tobago area, boy. As soon as Tobago people start calling in and venting the issues and concerns, they take you off the air. But no sweat, we on YouTube.
Okay, I don't know that. Sorry. I wasn't aware. And thanks for letting me know. All right. I just wondered. I just had a moment of wondering. Imagine if Dr. Rowley was to do that. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Pastor Google. Pastor Google, if Dr. Rowley do anything as drastic as that, they wouldn't hear the amount of legal action will be taken against this government. Okay? As a matter of fact, they're doing it right now with the jabbing situation and telling this country a big lie that the government is moving mandatory. That is further from the truth. What the authorities is concerned about, particularly in Tobago, is that the jabbing rate in Tobago is very low, and that is a cause of concern. So, Pastor Google, sir, you have a good day, and you continue what you do. And I just hope that what I already said is not true, that Tobago not listening to, is not hearing me at all. If that is the case, I smell a sense of sabotage. You have a good day, Pastor Google.
All right, I wouldn't say sabotage. I feel the program over there must have something else to do. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon. How many more must die? How many more? Dr. Rowley, how many more must die? Kamala Prasad, etc. How many more must die, Google, before they set African people free? Hello.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know the context in which you're talking, sir. I really don't know. If anybody know the context in which the caller talking about, then let me know.
He alone know what he talking about, yes, Pastor. You understand? We partner who know call there? Pastor Google. Yeah. Pastor Google, boy, welcome to all the new callers and the new listenership, Pastor Google, man. Your earways being flooded now, man. The lady who called, right, who had told me about the situation that she was teaching at Abubakar, that was a very nice contribution too, boy. You know, I hope she could call back again. And my lady with the voicemail. So Pastor Google, boy, like you have to sing on evenings now, on afternoons. Pastor Google, let me tell you something. The UNC have been embedded with always coming with conspiracy theories every time they lost. They have always been attacking the EBC since under Matthew Pandey. You see, people don't understand the historical antecedents of the UNC. It has been going on since the GLP with the No Vote campaign. You know, PNM win all 36 seats already, Pastor Google?
Yes, sir.
So this is nothing new. It's a cultural and a religious thing with the UNC, and it will always be like that unless their voter base hold them to the book. The voter base will never hold them to book because it's a cultural and a religious thing. So what the PNM will do is to push on. Polling officials have always been moved with the EBC, but they have always been trying to throw fraudulent accusations against the EBC. Obviously, eastern part of Tobago, that's country and rural. We know that country and rural will have less people than in the urban areas. But EBC have done the groundwork years ago, a good while ago. So they know exactly how they was going to split. Some will go in favor, some might go in favor of the ruling party, some might go against. But that's the EBC job. So how all of a sudden, Watson Duke singing the same song Saddam Hussein singing? So people have to understand the UNC is consistent, and PNM had a trot on. Dr. Rowley had a whole full man focus. Do we had to do? PNM people have to understand that there's different dispensation of politics. You can no longer just show your face to politics and then you turn your back on your community, especially Afro-based politicians within the PNM. That's not going to work again because you had to come back to your people. So there's a consciousness as a work all around the world with black politicians and black governments. And there's a lesson to be learned. And let me see what's going to happen here. Election will be called and we will see what Tobago will choose. And that is their destiny. Destiny is in their hand. And Dr. Rowley can't get away with the Antigua Prime Minister do Pastor Gold. Obviously, remember it's 90% of one race in Antigua. You know, Trinidad is a plural society. It's a very hard country to govern. If Dr. Rowley say, before he finish say the word, he arrogant and he this and he that. So, Pastor Google, by listening, good program.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon again. Pastor Guru, I get these people of talk. But if you vote somebody into rule to guide, and you complain, you're not getting the marginal seat. Dr. Wright 22, Canada them get 19 seats, and then I want to pass no bill. So you could get you can't get you, and we still have gone back to vote for them. We've still have vote for them, and they have seen for this and for that. And you know when you come to election, they're going to vote for different parties. They're like this one, they're like that one, but they're going to vote for a next party. You can't get no business fix, so you have to get marginal, get some seat, good seat, that you could pass things. Even if they will stand up with you in the parliament. You have enough seat to fix your business. But that don't happen like we don't take this thing for serious. We have to take it serious. I'm going to tell you.
On the news each day, human lives are blown away. Mothers and fathers crying, burying their dead and dying. How many more I hear them say? Death is the highest price. Death is the total sacrifice. Yeah, brothers rather commit suicide than continue with apartheid. How does beg me, Father, each day? Tell me, Father, tell me, how many more must die? How many more? How many more must die? How many more? How many more must die for liberty? Well, how many more before you set South Africa free, Mr. Botha? How many more must die? How many more? Mistress Thatcher? How many more must die? How many more? Mr. Reagan? How many more must die for their dignity? Well, how many more before you set South Africa free? Demand, I quote, is simply one man, one vote. But this was Mr. Botha's answer. Bullets, tear gas and murder. Every day is a massacre. Then he publicly stated his view. He said black people like me and you will always be dominated and forcibly subjugated, and will have no say in South Africa. Help we, Father, help we. How many more must die? How many more? How many more must die? How many more? How many more must die for their liberty? Well, how many more before they set South Africa free? Mr. Botha, how many more must die? How many more? How many more must die? How many more? How many more must die for their dignity? Well, how many more before you set South Africa free, Mistress Thatcher?
So in 2025, there'll be a general election in this country. And you can choose to vote out or vote back. But I don't understand the context of how many more must die, Dr. Rowley and Ms. Bissessa. I don't understand it. Because as far as I know, Dr. Rowley not killing anybody. And from what I listened to in Mr. Mighty Duke song, he's talking about Botha and Margaret Thatcher and the situation that was happening in South Africa. Is the situation that was happening in South Africa happening in Trinidad and Tobago now? All right, so let's say that it was he's using it metaphorically. How do you? I would love somebody's asking me what is the point? What's your point, sir? I don't know. I would like to understand it. Anybody want to understand it? You can call in now, and it's an open forum. You can call and talk what you really know. Pressures just give you all the opportunity to talk whatever you feel to talk about until 3 o'clock, where I will vacate this seat and give room for Mr. Robert Estelle. All right. Remember, we have 4 o'clock headline news. We do have the 4 o'clock headline news, so you don't have to move to go anywhere to hear what's happening in Trinidad and Tobago. All right. So you can call me now, 342-0081, 466-5391, and you can send me a voice note on 771-1791. If you understand what the brother was saying.
Western's hypocrisy, now exposed for all to see. They're going to the greatest extreme to protect their racist regime.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google.
Yes, sir.
Well, my interest is the upcoming budget, you know.
Yep, which is on the first Monday in October.
Yeah, the allocations now. And I know they must be done crunch the figures and done allocate because they had a retreat in Tobago and must be just the procedure of reading it out for the population. But I want more money in housing.
In housing?
Yes, in housing, because Pastor Google, a house is an investment, you know. A road is not no investment, you know. A road is a useless thing to me. A road is a useless thing, you know, because no vehicle is paying anything to use the road. If you was showing you, it had a road tax or something like that, and some other tax where they used to tax through gas, and people start to complain. But every time it have a pothole in the road, we hear more complaint if you was showing you. So I want more monies in housing, because right now some of these housing developments need a refurbishment, and it have such a youth outside there who saying the government ain't doing nothing and all these kind of different things, where they could, just as they do with the colony orange, HDC go through the whole, or through the MPs, get a list of unemployed youths in these areas and let them refurbish building where they live. If you understand what I'm saying here. And the works now, the Minister of Works should get money for the San Fernando to Point 14 highway.
The San Fernando Point 14 highway is being done, you know. I don't know why people believe that it's not being done. I can tell you because I have a church in Point. So I can tell you that the Point 14 to San Fernando highway is being done.
You would listen to me. This budget and all you hear, they've given a little portion of money to that highway again to finish it in 2022, according to what's going on. And the balance to Toko. They still have to put in a little change every budget.
Yeah, but when you said to me just now that you wanted them to give them money for the highway, it sounded as though but the highway is being done.
Yes, I agree, Pastor Good, but when the budget comes up, we'll have a conversation concerning that again, if you understand what I'm saying.
All right.
Right? But what I'm saying is that the money should go to regional corporation for these secondary roads and these off-track, if you understand what I'm saying, the smaller roads to be fully refurbished.
All right.
In this budget. Money in the Ministry of Works for the regional corporation.
Well, that's why we need it. But you know, you saying that, and I'll just put a plug in. That's why I heard the Attorney General talking about the local government reform and the local government bill, and that is one of the reasons why we were looking at they were looking at introducing the property tax and stuff like that, so that the Ministry of Works and Transport, wait, just now. Yeah, long time you're hearing it, but the bill is going to be presented in the Parliament before this sitting here.
All right. Well, I'll be locked on and listening to the Parliament channel. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google. How are you doing, man?
I'm okay.
All right. We had a talk, as usual. The previous caller, sometimes we don't understand, and like I was saying this morning on a program, one of the things that people don't understand is taxes, the importance of taxes. There are lots of tax people willing to pay taxes out there in different areas, be it the property tax, be it, you have a nice revenue authority to encapsulate all those people in businesses. And your previous caller don't really understand that. So what it is that you got a budget and don't know that a budget has to comprise the same recurrent expenditure, which is things that you spend over and over, like salary for everybody. And then you have the social aspect of the whole thing, where, what he doesn't understand, the highway is taking place, but at the end of the year, all money is returned to government for them to revisit the whole budgetary expenditure. Here's my thing, unless that local government reform bill, and I keep telling people, one of the biggest problems for you all development in this country is the UNC. And not because we hate the UNC, the UNC don't add anything in opposition, any value to Trinidad and Tobago in the Parliament. Nothing at all. They don't even come with bills when they have a majority to add anything favorable for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. There's where your life is, people. There's where you could get taxes. The government just can't say, all right, during a budget, I'll get this from taxes, this from oil and gas, and basic salary. There are lots of areas that people are willing to pay property tax almost, you probably $500 million a month. And you're sitting down there, we want this and we want that. Go to the UNC. You see what they're studying? It's one of the most disgusting group of people, Pastor Google. Just imagine, Saddam Hussein sat there, right? The UNC has won elections in this country with that same ABC, 29-12, 33-3, 1916-1. Once then get the way, they're targeting the EBC. And there in the Parliament, you know for a fact that the UNC don't ever support anything where a minister is responsible. They don't want ministerial or political control. Put it an independent body. And when it's that independent body, like even the Commissioner of Police, they never supported anything. So when people call in the radio station here and telling you, Pastor Google, myself, and other people who know better, than you don't just come every year and say, all right, you have enough budget for $40 billion. You have to know where the money coming from. And at this time, there are billions of monies out there that people are willing to pay through gaming industry, revenue authority and everything that in the Parliament is not being approved. One thing I'm doing, Pastor Google, Abu Bakr, I am saying that if Abu Bakr has won his case and everything based on the coup, now I want to be careful here because I know people probably still hurt him. But let Abu Bakr try to lead the Emancipation Support Committee in Trinidad. I think you'll get more verve. You'll get more, he just has to tone down because he's an excited orator, He got to like a talk. But I don't know, sometimes he gets offline, but listen to his message. Because the last time in his message, he had the correct message for today, for African people. But you cannot get it unless you have yourself in an organization. Abu Bakr is part of an organization fighting to get the Concordat to refer to him. That's a good idea. But again, there are different classes of African people that need to be put in perspective in relation to that. And that is under religion or any other organization, Pastor Google. We don't have that. African people like less chicken out there, just depending on Dr. Rowley to fix them. That don't happen. Barack Obama fixed African Americans. Right? The kind of song that Duke sang there. Both are doing this thing, but even all the president came after couldn't fix the people of Africa. You know why? Unless you don't get yourself in a circle of strength, and I talk about the fight, of strength, of education, of being a religious body with whatever, then you can bask on the government and say, hey, we want this to put in place. Unless we get that, I'm telling you, we'll just be making noise. So I gave him an end. Abu Bakr, I don't like one of the statement he made in relation to whatever, but the message I get from him is for African people to be organized, shape the Concordat, but African people need to be organized in areas that could build strength in education and other aspects of the development. If he becomes the leader of the Emancipation Support Committee, I think it's a better leader for Trinidad and Tobago for African people. Other than that, noise. Take care, Pastor.
All right, thank you very much. Do I have a caller holding here? No. Taking a call. It's 342-0081. 342-0081. I have a voice note. Just came in the nick of time.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google. I want to talk about the property tax, where people saying that this is not the right time for the government to collect property tax. It's not the right time. And my question is, so when is the right time? Is the right time the time when you have a change in government and then they insist that people pay taxes and you might have to find yourself in a situation paying more? And then you have the same level of incompetence and corruption. So nobody is thinking about the next generation with a high level of corruption and incompetence on the resources of this country to the point where your child or your grandchild will be disenfranchised. And education, when we're talking about tertiary education in this country, your child ain't going to be able to talk about tertiary education because all the government could provide, because so much of the resources bled out. And most of the money that's coming into the country would be just shared by of 15% of the population, especially politicians. Is it that we want? So I am saying, listen, if we expect this government to do things, you can't do things without money, because this is not mandrake and magic. Funds are necessary. And therefore, there's a need for taxes to be paid, and property tax is one of the taxes to be paid. Bye.
Well, good afternoon.
Yes, hi, good afternoon. Pastor Google.
Hi, good afternoon.
Yes, I want to comment on your interview with Abu Bakr. All right. Has Abu Bakr ever apologized for what happened in 1990? You could, to your knowledge?
Can't remember.
Well, I can't remember neither. It was good to hear him speak and talk like he wants to be a productive citizen in our country. Right? He had the opportunity to testify against the Commission of Inquiry, where he could have at least apologized. There was a lot of lives that were lost. There were millions of dollars in damage to policy. Our parliamentarians and then were tortured and abused, right? Before this country could heal and before the society could accept him as a valid person in the society, he has to apologize to this country for what was done in 1990. It was unfortunate that you made a comparison about a pastor. If a pastor had made that statement about God, is there any pastor that lead a group of armed men to overthrow a government?
In context of what he was talking about, sir, that is what I was talking about. I was talking in context of what he said. You can't want to join my statement to what he did. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what he said. And what he said, I was looking for what the pastor said in the center, in the prayer, in the prayer meeting, in the day of prayer that the Prime Minister had. If you listen to what that pastor said and you listen to what Yassim Abu Bakr said, there's nothing much difference, you know.
No, what the point I want to make is that if I were to say that the same statement that Abu Bakr said, then nobody would take me on. The difference between Abu Bakr and anybody else is that he has the reputation of leading the coup. And that's what makes it different. That is why anybody that hears him say anything that is violent will take note. You understand? That is real different.
Yeah, but if he says something violent, right? And that is why I had him on the air today, because what he said, right? He didn't say that he will deal with them, you know. He didn't say that. He said Allah will deal with them.
I understand that. But you see, as I say, because of his background, because what was done in 1990, because the fact that he has not apologized to this country for what happened to civil rights, you know, I made a mistake and I regret it happened, right? He is fortunate that Trinidad and Tobago is one of the few countries in the world that somebody could commit an act like that and still be wrong to be getting interviewed by the media and still be walking around as a free person. Now, it may have been that God's plan was for this whole event to end, and this was the way to end. Otherwise, more innocent lives would have been lost had it carried on. But he needs to apologize to this country for what his group has done, and then people could start to think about accepting him.
Right.
And the other point I would...
Let me make the other point really quick because I have to go.
Yeah. The last point I want to make is that his argument about the government funding his school, how can a government get so fund a school where an organization that has a reputation of what his organization has, and he has not apologized for it? So it will be difficult for some people to stomach the fact that after all his lives were lost, our country failed to recognize that in 1990 that was the greatest terrorist attack to this country and threat to the democracy of this country, right? That a sitting government was removed. The Prime Minister was abused in Parliament. You understand? It is difficult for people to think to act one thing that Abu Bakr said without him giving a proper and valid apology to this country. Thank you.
All right, Jonathan Bigo, here's where I have to leave it. I have to say my goodbyes. Thanks to everybody for your contribution to the program today. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow, please God, from about 11 o'clock till 1 o'clock. All right? So, coming up next, Mr. Robert. Yeah, Robert is in the building. All right, so stay locked, stay tuned to the Street 919 FM.
Simpsons Memorial Limited, number 63 Eastern Main Road, Laventille. Internationally accredited funeral directors and embalmers. A full-service funeral home serving families of Trinidad and Tobago and internationally since 1945. At Simpsons Memorial Limited, we serve with dignity in assisting families in honoring the memory of their loved ones. Our services include professional funeral and pre-planning, burials and cremation, custom-built and imported caskets, coffins and cremation trays, cemetery management, limousines, mourners cars, grief counseling, web streaming of funerals, fully air-conditioned chapel with live musical accompaniment, full global shipping and receiving of loved ones. We specialize in facial restorations. Call us anytime, day or night, at 623-8688. That number again is 623-8688. Simpsons Memorial Limited. Superior service, always with excellence.
To the king, I don't have much to bring.
Let me find out this place.
We're making it easier for you.
With
all new
these
G.Dot customer portal. Get 24/7 access to your account from all your smart devices. View your account status. See your active services and hardware. View your balance. Pay your bills. Set up recurring payments and more. Simply visit gd.tt today and register with your account number and email address to access this service. The all new G.Dot customer portal. It's just one of the ways Green Dot is making it easier for you. Green Dot, improving and simplifying lives.
This is the voice of the PNM. On Tuesday, September 14th at 7 p.m., tune into all major TV and radio stations, PNM's Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube channel. We'll be coming to you live from Diego Martin, feature address by Dr. Keith Rowley, and a powerful lineup of speakers. On Tuesday, September 14th at 7 p.m., tune in, click, like, and share rate is the PNM.
Yo, it's more mega, more chances, more money, more fun. With the mega bonus ball, win 35 to 1. Playway is giving you more mega for your money. Win 35 to 1 and win mega payouts daily. Now you can win 35 to 1 in every Playway mega mix draw if the mega bonus ball calls. That means even more chances to win when you play any of the mega mix options. Hey, it's more mega, more cash, more ways to win. Playway mega bonus ball, unleash your winner within. Players must be 18 years and over. Please play responsibly.
Sign up and save with Green Dot. When you subscribe to any of our broadband packages, you get 30% off the installation fee, allowing you to stream your favorite shows on any of your devices. Update your social media accounts and connect with friends and family. Stay on top of the class with online learning sessions. Or keep your team in the loop with virtual meetings, all at an affordable price. This is a limited time offer, so don't wait. Call 224-GDOT today to sign up and save with Green Dot, improving and simplifying lives.
Tune in to The Street 919 FM every Friday from 9:15 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. with Kingdom Health Services, situated at number 91 Eastern Main Road in St. Augustine. For the program, Health and Healing, merging the old with the new with Brent Diet. For more information, call 318-7471 or 484-0141 or 360-4100. It's all about Kingdom Health Services on The Street 919 FM.
Renting a car in Tobago should be quick, affordable, and easy.
Wow.
Here at Onia Rentals, we make the process as simple as possible by using our easy e-sign-up. Yep, we can sign you up from just about anywhere using our tablets. See? All done. And everything goes straight into the cloud. Yeah, you're on your way. Are you coming to Tobago? Book your car rental with us and enjoy the most affordable rates in Tobago. But hurry, because cars go pretty fast. Call 361-1042. That's 361-1042. One more time, 361-1042.